buy one, the next year the model comes out with something like that. Yeah, I love it. It's always my story of my life. Next model is always better. Quite a crowd.
Welcome to the Tucson Rural Office Open House, and we're really happy to see the crowd that showed up. And I just wanted to tell you that it's exciting to us because we represent the 7 counties of southeastern Arizona, and also the 7 great nations, American Native communities of southern Arizona. One thing I wanted to mention to you is that this is a restricted area in the back, since this is confidential information for the United States Census. So feel free to partake of the refreshments outside, enjoy the program, but some of our restricted area in the back, we have to keep people from going into the back. We'd like to open our ceremony by welcoming our distinguished visitors from Denver, Mr. William Bellamy, our Regional Area Manager, and James Christie, Assistant Regional Census Manager. And our honored guest and speaker, this is Chairman Massey from the White Mountain Apache Reservation. Our census is going to be in full swing in terms of the actual census count, but we actually opened this office in August, and recruiting is one of the big things that will be important in the next couple of months. So anybody who wants a census job, just see us after the open house is over and we'll sign you up. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome from the Tohono O'odham Nation, Daniel Lopez, who will bless our office for the coming count. Thank you.
I pray to Easter in the morning when I look at the bright stars and all mountain pool. When I wake up then I see the bright stars. I say a little prayer because that's the way my body goes out in victory with it. And pray for another day. You know, I'm grateful for another day of life with all country that we live to see the bright stars again. And later on the sun rays that come out and touch our land and touch our hearts and give us the light again for the day. like in the rain ceremony that we do during the summer. We talk about the bright rain house standing at the east. How the bright white cloud comes up over our land. Then on this side we see the bright green, fresh rain house that stands over here in this direction. And how the green cloud comes out to cover our land, our desert. And then on this side, once we found the south direction, how that bright brownish color, that's the color of the rainwater in the west. And that brown cloud comes out to cover our land, to bring the rain that we sing for, in the rain ceremony that we pray for. And then at the west, we talk about the dark rain house standing there, and the dark cloud that will come in the evening, not in a negative way, but in a positive way, like in the evening, because we all live through the day, and we see the sunset and the darkness that comes, and we pray to give us a good rest for His cause and holding us, so we can be ready to go again the next day. So please, I could give all of you a good blessing, all of you. In this house, anything that's blessed, like I tell people out there, they actually don't know, look at our tribal van that they have just got talk to the man and told him, even though it's blessed, you have to do your part. And you people that work here in this house, you have to do your part. Don't just forget it's blessed. You have to do your blessing every morning. Even in your own home when you get up, when you come on the work, you have to do your part. You can't just rely on individuals to do this or that. We all have to partake just like in your work. So I want to send the good thoughts to all of you, the good wind, all your heart, the good light, strength that we all need. This is how we give it wisdom, knowledge. Thank you, God.
Now that our office is blessed, we can continue on. I'm very proud of the next moment because the Fred G. Acosta Job Corps Center has been our partner since the beginning. And we have 5 of their students who have graduated working in our office right now. And one of the students they've done a mural for our office and they're presenting it as a gift today. And it's going to be presented by Graciela Bustillos. And the artists are Jasmine Zarco and Valiente Vargos. And they're presenting the mural to Mr. William Bellamy.
On behalf of the Census Bureau and the Tucson Rural Art, I accept this, and with graciousness, I ask you to please continue this work so that we can get a good. Thank you very much.
We'll next have a short welcome from our Denver office and representing Mr. James T. Christie, our Sisto Regional Census Manager. Thank you.
Good morning. I didn't know it was supposed to be short. I'll try and make it short. Well, this has been very nice already, hasn't it? And you ain't seen nothing yet. And we're going to have some neat things happening here. I'd just like to say thank you to everybody for coming out here today. It's really neat to see all of you. This is very well attended. And it's neat to have all of you here to share this moment with us where we open this census office. In the next few months, each of us will be asked to participate in the 2000 census. Many will eagerly participate, others because they're supposed to, and some people will participate with some caution. But there will be some who are just not sure what the census is all about. What is it about? Why do we do this census, and why is it important? Well, I could stand here and tell you that the census is a fundamental part of our democracy and is the way our country's political power is distributed. Or I could tell you that the census impacts the way over $1 trillion are spent each decade. I could give you many reasons why it's important, but maybe it's better to ask the people that you see every day, people you know. Ask them why the census is important. Ask the local planning official who's trying to make decisions about where to put a road. Ask the teacher who's struggling with a swelling classroom. Ask the mother who's looking at daycare options. Ask the business person who's deciding where to put the next store. Ask the tribal official who's seeking additional funding for an employment program. Ask the commuter who's driving on a clogged highway. Ask the doctor who's providing health care to the elderly. Ask the child who's hungry at lunchtime. Ask the young couple who's searching for their first home. Ask the immigrant who's looking for an English class. Ask the teenager who's planning a future. Ask the father who's looking for work. Ask the student who's learning to read. It's safe to say that the census affects every single one of us every single day. An accurate count for Census 2000 is not just about funding or reapportionment, it's about us as a community. The Census Bureau is committed to counting everyone. Through the help of Congress and our partners, we've dramatically improved the way we do the census, the way we advertise the census, and the way we evaluate the census. The tools are in place to make the census a count of historic accuracy. What we cannot do, though, is do it alone. We must have the support and involvement of you, the local community. I'm very encouraged by the reports I'm getting about the efforts here in Tucson and the work that you're doing. Your presence here today demonstrates the commitment that you have to Census 2000. We will need your continued involvement in the months ahead. What can you do? First, answer the census. Second, tell others to answer the census. You are somebody that they respect and trust, and let people know the census is safe and easy. Third, tell people about census jobs. We will need to hire a lot of people in this census. Fourth, talk to us. Tell us where you anticipate we may have problems and help us to identify solutions. The Census Bureau is ready, and we're looking forward to working with you to make this census, Census 2000, the best ever. Thank you.
I don't really need a mic. I noticed you didn't say short. I want to welcome you too, just as Jamie did. It's a pleasure for us to see you here for this open house. You know, this operation right here in the Tucson Rural Office is going to have quite an impact on Arizona, because out of this office will be administered the census for the outlying areas of Pima County, Santa Cruz, Cochise, Graham, Greenlee, Gila, Pinal, and portions of Apache and Navajo County. So there's going to be far-reaching what this office will do. Let's talk about the census in the past a little bit. You know, we're embarking right now on something very historic. You know, as far as census terms are concerned, we're just in the second millennium. We're just the third group of people that have been able to participate in the first census of a millennium. You know, the people that were alive when Caesar Augustus determined that there should be a census, people that were living in 1,000 had the opportunity, and you and me, we have the opportunity to participate in this, just the third millennium census, or the first in the millennium. You know, about 21 days ago, we went into a new century, and we're starting into a census operation that's going to be very historic. Why do you think that this is so important? The census that we will do between now and toward the end of this year, when the final count has to be presented to the president, is going to be the official count of the United States for the next 10 years. That means, as Jamie said, it's going to determine your representation, it's going to determine your participation in federal programs. Let me just kind of wrap things up and give an indication of just how important this is. Neil, I want you to come up here. And Christina, where are you? Go over and assist me for just a minute. I really wanted to bring a Olympic-sized torch from Denver. Well, they wouldn't let me get it on the airplane, for one thing. Second thing, I was told that the Tucson Fire Department probably wouldn't let me light it here. So I'm going to use a symbol. And I'm going to tell to you, Neil, and your staff, that this is to be a symbol of us in Denver passing the torch to you and your staff and the local communities and the tribal leaders, that this is to be an eternal flame until we get 100% count. Supposed to keep it lit. Wait for you to send it over there. We're going to assume that you and your staff and all of the jurisdictional tribal leaders and the community leaders are going to assist in achieving 100% count.
We have some good entertainment coming up. We have the White Mountain Apache dancers. We also have the Fred Giacosta dancers. But before that, we have our main speaker, who we're very honored to have. Chairman Massey is part of our nation-to-nation agreement to count the census for the Apache tribes, the Tono O'odham tribes, the Pasquayaki, and we'll also be working with the Ak-Chin and the Gila River tribes. And I was honored to be up in the tribal chambers to talk with Chairman Massey and council members, and we're honored to have you here to talk to our staff. So Chairman Massey from the White Mountain Apache.
I have a sore throat and trying to get over this thing, but okay, it's a likai se anya ident ni no hang kai teaching di ident our taki sa da jo kwelche da le klima. Okay, my name is Dallas Massey. I'm the tribal chairman of the White Mountain Apache tribe, and I'd like to say good morning to all of you Indian leaders, town leaders, community, and staff for census year 2000. For those of you who are not familiar with my people, we live in a place called Fort Apache Indian Reservation. Our land base is 1.6 million acres, and we're located on central eastern part of Arizona. The Creator has blessed us with a beautiful land, bountiful land also, that raises from an elevation of 2,700 at Gleason's Flat, and is located on the southwest corner of the reservation. And it peaks at 11,590 foot summit of Mount Baldy. It's located on the northeast corner of the reservation. We have vast canyons, rangeland, and also 400 miles of rivers and streams traverse through our Ponderosa pine forest, about 700,000 acres of it. Our reservation is a home to abundant of game and fish, including once endangered species, Apache trout, elk, bear, mountain lion, pronghorn, antelope, deer, wild turkey, osprey, and also our nation's symbol, bald eagle. The White Mountain Apache tribe is very fortunate to have a land base that is rich, natural beauty and bounty. Our land flourishes with life as we are blessed by the changes brought by 4 seasons. Our resources provided us with the potential and opportunity for sustainable development for future generations of Apache. So many of our resources to manage, the responsibility so great, the tribe often requires assistance from the United States federal government to help manage these vital resources and maintain their pristine condition, as well as provide service for all kinds of members of the White Mountain Apache tribe. The United States government, Community Services Trust Responsibility for all Indian country, provides substantial source of funding services on the reservation. However, the funds provided, the tribes often depends on number of people in the community and the various income, housing, educational, other demographic statistics of our people. It is because of these numbers and demographic that our census is so important for Indian country. According to the census, the 1990 census was least accurate in history. Many people were not counted at all. Many people were counted more than once, giving a false picture of the population of America. The least accurate count throughout the history comes from the low-income family, minority, and children. And most of the Indian nations, the Fort Apache Indian Reservation, fills all 3 categories for the least accurate count. More than half of our people are below poverty line. The Census Bureau estimates there's 12.2% of Native America living on reservation in 1990 were undercounted. This figure is more than any other minority group, making our people the most undercounted in America, the least likely to receive adequate funding from federal government. The White Mountain Apache tribe, as of today, uses 3, almost like a census count also. We have Bureau of Indian Affairs on our reservation that does a labor force report. The labor force reports identifies as 10,000 tribal members. And we have another count that we use, Indian Health Services, another government entities. They identifies as 12,000 and serving more than 16,000 people on the reservation. And then our census. Our census tells us we have less than 10,000 people on the reservation. So when we submit for a grant, when we demand our voices to be heard in Washington, which count do we go with? So we're stuck with 3 figures, and all of them don't agree. And I'm pretty sure all Indian reservations are like that. I don't know the answer why Native American count for 1990 was so low and incorrect. It could be the people not want to participate in the count, or the people who were on the count did not come up to the reservation. That's why I want the White Mountain Apache tribe and like to recommend to other Indian leaders that we hire our own people on the reservation that knows who lives in what house. On our reservation, we have one big house. Sometimes we have 5 families living in those homes. When outside personnel comes in on the reservation and does a count, somebody will come up from the house and say, I am living here, so with my spouse. And the people don't know who's living there, so they will mark 2 people and leaving out 4 different families. That's why we recommend our own people from the community that knows who lives in those homes to do the count for us. We want this to be accurate. That's why we want our own people to do the count. We have several tribal members that were adopted back in the 50s. We have tribal members that are members of the White Mountain Apache tribe in Maine, Alaska, Hawaii, and all across the United States are finally coming back. Their adoptive parents have not told them where they come from. And now when these counts are taken, they will have to ask again. As we speak today, I'm still getting calls. I did not know I was adopted. I come to find out I'm a member of White Mountain Apache tribe. 30 years, 40 years ago, they are finally returning home and finding out who their real parents are. So by this count, identifying who we are is very important to us. So our focus in their time in rural areas, they probably do it different, but we like to do it this way in our community, our own tribal members that knows the people, that knows the community to do the count for us. So I like to inform the Native American communities to make sure their people are known and heard through their presence in the community. And according to the census, Native population has more rapidly growth in the 1990s than the nation's population as a whole. The Bureau estimates that by year 2020, the Native American population will increase to 3.1 million, the largest increase of any race. If these estimates are correct, the count for Native American remains inaccurate. We will suffer losses for our funding and our future. I believe that already experiencing problem from our undercount, which will grow in the future. With the current cuts in federal funding, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and to the Native American communities. Therefore, as to be a key speaker today, I went ahead and grabbed that opportunity because I know the knowledge is power. Power to change the government of my people, for my people. The power to influence federal legislation and funding. Power to ensure the future, not only for White Mountain Apache children, but for all children throughout Indian country, and the power to make their voices known. Knowledge of accurate count of Native American across America will give my government a useful tool to protect resources and people. Census can help us connect Indian countries because it will help locate our lost relatives and our family members whom we never knew. Our participation in census gives us community hope in finding these connections, and the reality of knowing our voices is strong and we can change it. Federal, state, and local government by using our voices together to make the change for our family and loved ones. I appreciate the census help in spreading the knowledge of importance of census Native American on Fort Apache Indian Reservation. Just as the President William Clinton has committed his effort to the success of 2000 census, I have also committed my resources, the government, in helping all White Mountain Apache tribe learn the importance of participating in the census. I believe it's essential Native American act as census takers on each reservation. We know our communities and the family that live there. We also speak Native language and communicate better with our people. Finally, we can concentrate harder on the tasks. I know that Native American census takers will count will be accurate. As a Native American leader, father, and a concerned American, I encourage everyone in Indian country to actively participate in the census and to make sure their voices are heard. Together, we can make sure our resources and the people are acknowledged and protected. And the White Mountain Apache tribe, our accurate population is just a little bit over 13,000. Half of that count are people less than 18 years old. So we have a very young tribe. And I just wanted to share that with you and make sure everybody, your family, your relatives are being counted in the state. As you know, the state of Arizona is one of the fastest growing states across the United States. So we will have more representatives and our voices can be heard in Washington, D.C. Thank you and God bless.
I wanted to thank three people who made this open house possible. Penny Enright, Vicki Cardenas, and Jillian Lang. We want to thank EG's for providing the drinks that are going to be outside when you get done. Someone clap for the drinks. We have, as a very honored treat for you, we have the Crown Dancers from Alachey High School Indian Club. And one of the students will be introducing the dance, Daniel Larzalera. Daniel?
Oh, Shaquille. This is guys on you there, and I show you this. Gone, she can't let it go in there. Kuyam, but you say in the Chinash Desande. Hello, my name is Daniel Larzler. I come from the White Mountain Apache tribe in northeastern Arizona. And the group that followed me are called the Alachey High School Indian Club. And wherever we perform, we get like standing ovations when we travel over the United States, we just ask that the people that watch us come perform, that they respect our culture and where we come from, because where we come from, this is very sacred. Up there, the crown dancers are used for when a girl goes through puberty. They have this sunrise ceremony dance for her. When someone's sick, they have this crown dancers come out, they heal the sick. The dancer, the singers too. Can't do it without the singers. But at least good 2 singers maybe to make it sound good, make it sound pretty even. So without further ado, I would like to present the group that followed me down, the Alachey High School Indian Club.
tired. Come on.
Near the end, a couple of them are getting kind of tired too. I also have to breathe through those masks.
So we got a
We'd like the advisor of the club, Elmira Kozin, to come up for a second. Is she here? Elmira? Yes, we wanted to present you with flowers for the wonderful performance of your group.
I would like to thank the people that invited us here. And if it wasn't for the creator, we wouldn't have special talents like what we had here. And thank you again, Neil.
We'd like to thank Willie Cannon from Albertsons, who donated a lot of the food that you can enjoy on the way out. We have Native American fry bread and toppings for anybody when we finish the performances. Next, we switch to urban Tucson, to the Fred Giacosta Job Corps Center, and Christine Calamar, could you please come up? And we're going to have some South Pacific, I think, dancing and Mexican folklore.
Good morning, my name is Christine Colmenero, and I'm so happy to be here and see so many of my brothers and sisters. I am from the Yaqui Nation. I am also Yaqui. Again, it's wonderful to see so many of my family here. Thanks for having us. And like Neil said, we're going to continue the celebration, and we're going to go south of the border to our other indigenous brothers and sisters. We're going to go on with folklorico dancing. Our first number is going to be La Negra. And then we're going to move right into, and I'll pause in between to give our dancers a little bit of time to get their implements. So again, this one is titled La Negra.
Así me dijiste a mí, por eso digo penando. ¡Claro que sí! Acuérdate, Pancho amigo, que no hay como la alegría.
The dances that you are witnessing are from the region of Jalisco. Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico. It's almost centrally located in Mexico. And the next number that the young gentlemen and ladies are going to perform is titled Los Machetes. That's why they set down the hat and pick up the machetes. Now the machetes is a dance honoring all men working in the field. Again, this is a dance in honor of men who work in the field and have to work with the machete on a daily basis. Again, Los Machetes. Again, aren't they wonderful? Spectacular. The last number for this set is titled El Jarabe Tapatío. You might know it better, or rather, excuse me, you'll know it better as the traditional Mexican hat dance. And this will be the last set for this region. I work with the Freddie Acosta. A little too soon. I work at the Freddie Acosta Job Corps Center, and I am an instructor. I teach art and performing arts. So as you can see, these are my students, and they've been practicing hard. Some of them never danced a step in their lives before, so they deserve a lot of credit. And also, the next set we're going to dance is Polynesian, and that's why I have to be talking to you a few minutes, because I have to give a little bit of time for my young gentlemen to change outfits. They're going to come back out in a totally different regalia. Back to Job Corps. Each and every student studies a vocation. We are a federally funded program, and we work with youth between 16 and 24. They study building and apartment maintenance, electrical wiring, secretarial skills, business and clerical, accounting, retail sales, plumbing, electrical wiring, and if they should need their GED, we also have GED classes for preparation for the state test. So again, if any of you out there have any youngsters that need to further their education or pick up some skills, the Job Corps Center, again, is here in Tucson. There's another in Phoenix. It's a national program, so there's a Job Corps in every state of the United States, including Hawaii and Puerto Rico. So again, our youth, there's programs out there for you. I do encourage you to finish high school, then come on for your vocational training. But if you should need your GED, we have those classes for you also. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the Pacific Islander numbers that we're going to do. The first number that we're going to present for you is titled The Boy from Lapahoihoi. And it's a song about the boy. He's saying, I am the boy from this village. This is who I am dancing for you. I am strong, I'm good looking, and all the girls want to come and look at me. And you'll see what I mean when they come out here. And I'm really pushing for time, so I wish they could hear me come out here really fast. Any questions about Job Corps and the dancers thus far? Okay, I told them they had 1 minute to get dressed. So hold on, again, I'm pushing it. Back to Job Corps. To be eligible, you have to be a youngster, again, between 16 and 24. Oh, by the way, we also offer ESL classes. So if anybody doesn't speak English, we do have ESL classes to learn the English language and then further the education and vocational training. Okay, no further ado, the boy from Lapahoihoi.
I am the boy of my shoulders are broad, my body it is and handsome too. May only kapa ina palila, pa ihon na mena alula, ike kahawahi aku aula, ika aku na maula. May only kapa ina palila, it is hard to believe, or even going down the I go to the stream to fish. Ahihoi baka ina anala, ike kahawahi amaupala, aohi au mea popola, ina aleo ke kahila. I also have paddling over the surging waves, having no fear of the waves in the sea. O imaiau akahalela, nui nui na miki ahila, ku ono ono o lukula, ku I come home with my big fingers to eat my koi, so delicious. Inside me makes my body husky. And it's ay na may kapuanala, ay may yawa kabuela, ahoy muela, ihihila po ibila. This is my story. Here I am, the boy from Long Boy. My shoulders are broad. Coming from Long Boy, broad shoulders, big body, and handsome.
Hey guys.
See that one that's laying out in that
Come on,
our students, they're from one cultural group and they mix up with another cultural group. As you can see, I have my Mexican dancers dancing Hawaiian. I have my African American dancers dancing Fijian. I have my Mexican dancers dancing, Tahitian. The last number we're going to present is Tahitian. Ladies, please. Again, this number is Tahitian, and it's titled Bora Bora. And while they're setting up, I just wanted to take this time to say thank you to my students. They put up with my criticisms, my attitudes, my hollering, but it's all because I want them to look good on stage. Again, and they have to bear with me because they do have to learn about other cultures and about each other. And it's a good thing because the more we know about each other, the less fear we'll have of each other's cultures, and the more we'll get along in this world. No further ado, Bora Bora. Evelyn. Okay, just take a bow all together. Very quickly, I'd like to introduce you. Marisa Jackson, Sushana Johnson, Selena Ortega, Candace Bernardo, and Evelyn Siqueiros. Ladies and gentlemen, are Tom Collins, Jose Valdez, and Adrian Viniegra. Thank you for having us here. Continue the celebration with fun.
For Christine, we'd like to present you with flowers. You've done a wonderful job.
And also, I need to say thank you to Leo's wife, Lady, my coworker, my colleague.
It's so loose in this office. In the
As you can see
airport,
from
I
our
couldn't
program, we
even look
represent a
over
wide
somebody's shoulder when
diversity
they're
in
on a
southeastern Arizona, and we wanted to echo Chairman Massey's words. There has been undercounts with minorities, and our office in the year 2000 is dedicated to counting every single person that we can in the minority groups and also out in the counties. And we have something that I think you'll enjoy right now is the Tohono O'odham Children Dancers. And I'm not quite sure how they're going to announce themselves, so you're ready right now. The Tohono O'odham Nation Desert Dancers.
good morning or good afternoon. We couldn't get all our group together, so we're gonna do a few of our dances. Our original name is Desert Indian Dancers. They have us down as Desert Dancers, and we come from Santa Javier, and this group was originated back in '72 by the late Lorenzo Pablo, his wife, his mate, I guess you would say, Francis Manuel, Danny Lopez, and his wife, Florence. And we try to keep this group strong since his passing on. And one of the things, that was what he intended for this group, for the children to learn their culture. So the first thing they'll do for you is a blessing. The next dance they'll do for you is the waga. It was done for the ceremony when the girl became a woman. the second dance was part of it too, honoring the 4 directions. Next thing they'll do is the guihina, the social dance, and also known as friendship dance. If you're able to, you're welcome to join the kids.
Everybody wants to be the first.
Somebody can jump out there, maybe. Yeah. Hey, once you first one, they'll all go.
Surprised Rosemary didn't jump out there.
Big shots jump out now. They're all,
Should have been the first.
yeah. Until Neely should have been an Indian dancer. Feels grab him right in there. Little one gets some energy, doesn't she?
She's yelling.
Yeah. Energy's wasted on you.
Go.
thank the children and present the Florida Ornament Dancers as a token of our appreciation. The story of the census is a story of the family of man. If you remember the book from 35 years ago, it was pictures around the world, and we wanted to end our program with a story.
Especially the reservations. We have to know how many people are going to be coming into the state of Arizona. What impacts are they going to have on our people? Because I know in my community we've done surveys. We didn't wait for any type of government or state or local government to come in to help us with these surveys. We knew that that information was going to be valuable to our community. So we needed to know, well, how many people are living in HUD homes? What kind of conditions are those homes in? You know, how many families are living in there? How many of them have plumbing? How many don't? And some of this information are what we went out to get. And so when we had that information, we knew that we could be able to put together different grants and people to understand, you know, these are some of the things that we need as a community. These are how many children we're having coming up, and these are many elderlies. And it helped us to build our elderly center. We couldn't build an elderly center if we didn't know how many elderlies we had and how big a facility we needed. And even our schools are some of the things that we're looking forward to, because we know that the younger generation is coming up in this world. And we know that there's a lot of things that are happening that happened in the past, in the 1990s and beyond. There's a lot of bad things that happened that we want to leave back there. And today, the 21st day after the new millennium has come into effect, we want to see good things happen today. And we want to be able to be participating. And I feel that this is an opportunity for the Census 2000 to be able to open the doors to allow different ethnic groups and people to come in and let them be aware of how to do some of these things. I know that for my tribal members, I know it's going to be useful for our own tribe, so when we do our own inventories, our own surveys, that those things will be useful to our people. And I'm glad that they're giving us the opportunity to learn and to be able to have that understanding. I know that this one medicine man, he told me one time, he said, "Daniel, I had a dream. And in that dream, I was walking in this hill area, these grasses. And all of a sudden, I came up on one hill and I looked down. And I saw all these people sitting at a table. And they had all this food sitting on the table, different squashes and melons and all different kinds of different fruits that they had in this area. And I saw these people sitting down there, and they had these big old long spoons. And he said, as I came down from the hill, I got closer and I saw that those people were I thought they were sitting there eating, but they had these big long spoons, and when I got closer, they were sitting there and they were fighting each other with it. And he said, I looked at these people and looked at what kind of people they were, and he said they were just like skeletons. They didn't have any meat on them, and they were just practically almost bones. He said, I got scared and I took off running over these hills again. And it wasn't before I reached the top of another hill that I looked down and I saw the same scenario. There was all this food on the table, and then there was these people sitting around the table. And he said, I got scared and I thought I was going to see the same thing I did back here, so I went around this corner, he said. And I started going this other way, and then all of a sudden I thought maybe I can see what they're doing this time and seeing if they're doing the same thing as the other people. So he said he crept up and he noticed that these people were a lot larger. And so he kind of went up a little more, and he saw that they had these big spoons again too, but what they were doing, he said, was a lot different than the people before, because what they were doing was that they were using these big spoons to eat all that food on the table. And he said not only were they using those spoons to feed themselves, but they were using the spoons to feed each other. And for a long time, I wondered, what did that mean to me? You know, what was he trying to tell me? And today, what I come to see is that sometimes in our communities and sometimes as tribal people, we end up, you know, fighting amongst each other. You know, the people of the world. We're over here fighting one another about resources, about land, about all these different kinds of foods, and we're killing ourselves. But what we should be doing is doing something like feeding each other information, be able to work with one another, to be able to share, like you saw today, these different tribes, the Apache tribe came and they shared these things with you as a food for you, as a blessing for you. And I hope that you remember them wherever you go, and that you know something about some of the tribes, the Autumn, the dances that they did. They shared their bounty with you and allow you to be here and to witness some of the things that were sacred way back. Long time ago, these dances and these things were only meant for certain people and were only meant for certain tribes. And now today, we've come to understand that we have to get out there and educate the non-Indian society about the richness and the fulfillment that we have. And we have a lot to offer. And I know today's census, there are other people all over the world, different ethnic groups. And I know that to be counted, it's not to be kind of left aside like we have been in the past. Native Americans are just, we were listed in some of the government forms as other. And today we're listed as Native Americans or ethnic groups, and we're listed there. But it didn't come real easy. Even the right to vote and some of the things that we're going to today with internally. But I know I'm glad to see that people are standing up today and saying, yeah, I want to be a part of this. I want to be known that I want to know how many tribal members we have, how many youths are coming up, how many elderly do we need to support. I know we have a legislative councilman from our district, Tony Burrell. And you know, I thank him for wanting to be one of the people to sit on a 22-member council to listen to all these different problems that are coming in our community. But they have to know, well, how many people, if they use this dollar over here, how many people are going to be able to benefit from this dollar? It's the same thing with the United States of America and other countries all over the world. They need to know how far this dollar can go and how many people it can help. And so I guess for me, being there and being supportive to the Census 2000, it's going to benefit not only me, but it's going to give blessings to all the other people that help participate so that they know, well, how many people are in this country and what are they doing, what are their age levels, what are their, I guess their income, how many people are low income. And some of those things are hard to realize, but then the system has to change for the better, and it's each and every one of us that has an opportunity. It's just not left up to, I guess, these officials in this regional area. It's up to all of us people to support them and to help them get this done in the best way, and hopefully maybe we can be the 100% that's being counted in this area. Thank you.
We started off our program with a tribal blessing. We want our office to be blessed because we have a big task. We have a task of counting the 7 Native American reservations in the 7 counties of southeastern Arizona. We ended with Daniel Preston, who gave us his first story about I don't know. So we're hoping that we know something by the end of Census 2000 and that we're able to count everybody in our region We thank you for coming to our program. We thank some of our liaisons like Terry Koopman for coming, and also some of our legislatures and council members. Feel free to partake of the Native American fried bread and toppings on your way out. We also want to tell you that if you're interested in another program on the census, the urban office starts their program at 12:30, and Colby will be giving the major talk there. So, and we have a mariachi band also over there. So at 12:30, we hope you go to the other office. It's located above